everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, we're celebrating Christmas in July this weekend, and I'm so glad you clicked on the video. Today we're using some items from Spellbinders that are just so cute. We're going to mix and match. This is part of Spellbinders' Spectacular Christmas collection. So cute. We have the Spectacular Bear. This is kind of like the main die set because it does have a body. That these two dies, which is the Spectacular Deer and the Spectacular Penguin, you can attach the body to them. Okay, so these are just the faces, but this is the face and the body. So you can interchange all the elements because they're basically, the heads are the same size. So you could put the earmuffs on this polar bear, or you could put the glasses from this one on the deer. So they're interchangeable, which is nice. And then I also have the Spectacular Holiday Sentiments that we're going to be using. Now, this was like the perfect size of critter to use with my Spellbinders Make It and Bake It collection. So I thought we would mix things up. Since he is holding a cupcake, I thought we would also bring in my Make It and Bake It collection and do a little mixing and matching. I'm going to use the apron from the Made with Love set. I'm also going to be using a couple utensils from the Fluff Frost and Roll set. And then I'm also using the bowl from the Magic Mixer. And lastly, just since I'm sharing the dies that we're using today, I'm also using the largest stitched rectangle die in the Spellbinders Nested Postage Labels and Tags die set. This is the largest stitched one. We're not going to use the postage label, but just the stitch detail. Okay, we're gonna make 3 cards today. We're gonna with one with each of the critters. And just to condense it, a lot of the parts I'm going to skip and putting together the assembly. But I think once I show you one, you'll know how to do the rest. We'll start by assembling the bear here, okay? So let's take this one out, okay? And I'm going to do a little die cutting. These critters are really easy to put together, okay? This is the Spectacular Bear, and I die cut out these 2 pieces with Spellbinders Fog cardstock. What's so cute is these little arms, you can tuck things in. Okay, so I think maybe even a gift card. Let me grab one, see if it'll fit in here. Okay, you could barely fit it in there. It's a tight squeeze, but I think you could fit a gift card in there. Okay, so, but it is a very tight squeeze. I bended a little bit of the arms here, but gift card holder works too. Actually, you can see here it's starting to tear the paper. So tight squeeze on the gift cards, but that may be an option. Okay, and then this piece here, I cut out with the same fog cardstock. This is for the nose. Okay, so those are those 3 pieces. And then with white cardstock, I'm going to use this piece, and the ears. Are the cheeks to my little bear, but rather than die cut those out with pink cardstock, I'm just going to use a Copic marker and color these in here. I think it looks really dark, but the alcohol will dry. But this is just going to give it a little bit more of a softer look. Okay, let's go ahead and add all of these. Very easy to do. First, you add the tummy. There we go. And then we can add the nose layer right over the background. I'm going to bring in a foam square, put it behind here. And then I'm going to tack this on his little nose. Okay, for the ears, I'm going to flip this over. We're going to add some glue behind here. And then we could just tack the ears behind this cute little guy. Okay, now as far as the eyes go, you could probably use the cheeks to put behind the eyes. Just die cut it out with black cardstock. But I'm going to use some black foam squares. And I'm just going to add these. For me, this is just easier. Okay, so darken up those eyes just using black foam squares. It does leave a little tackiness. That doesn't bother me. If it does bother you, you can go over it with the anti-static powder, but the powder does turn the black to gray. Okay, so those are those 3 pieces. And then, now for this little guy, that's where I'm gonna bring in my Make It and Bake It, my Made with Love apron. Okay, and then I add my polka dots. And I think this apron is going to be like the perfect size. And then I can add some glue here. And then we can tack this down right over the top. Okay, now watch. I'm going to slide this apron here. I think it's going to be the perfect size. Look how cute. You could definitely, I'm going to add some glue here, so it's not going to go nowhere. But you can definitely make him longer. This would be a great 5x7 little critter. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the neck portion because I'm just going to add some glue here. Actually, you know, I'm a head tilter. I'm actually going to tilt his head. I like to tilt. And there we go. I think he's looking really cute. And as I, you know, to me he's looking really cute. But as okay, you guys probably knew this long before I even saw this, right? But my nose is actually upside down. Oh goodness. Okay, you're probably screaming in the video, flip the nose upside down. Sometimes that happens. Okay, we're out a little extra glue, and then we'll fix his nose. Okay, much better, don't you think? Okay, now he's almost done. I am going to add some glasses to this cute little guy. Okay, now I'm going to do something special with the glasses. I die cut them out with some red cardstock, and then I'm going to bring in some release paper. Okay, you probably, I've had questions, what's release paper? All release paper is the leftover sheet to my foam squares I keep. Okay, so when I use up the rest of these, I keep the paper, okay? That way when I pop things up for the videos, it's just easier for me to remove it. That way I don't waste time showing you guys how to remove the release paper. It's already done. So I keep these. Now I'm going to take my glasses. Okay, and what I've did this before, I'm going to use my Spellbinders Glaze and glue, and I'm going to go over these glasses all the way to the edge with my Glaze and glue. I'm just going to fill it in. The thicker you do it, the longer it takes to dry, but you want to just make sure that your edges are attached to the inside frame of the lenses. We're making lenses, okay? Okay, so when this dries, you're going to have some clear lenses, which I had already did one earlier. Look at, when the glaze, it's really, really thin, but you can kind of see it. I'm trying to, so you have some lenses on your glasses. I love doing this to glasses. So cute. I did another one too. But you want to be careful. You don't want to put paper on it. I actually had some cardstock that I tossed over the top of it so it dried, and so I can't use those. But if you do have any of the glazed and glue that goes outside of the lenses, it dries like a piece of plastic. So you could just use your scissors and trim around it. Okay, so we have some spectacles. We'll put this aside to dry. I'm sure I'll use those. So those are my glasses, and they're just adorable. I am going to actually trim my apron off of the bear, okay, like so. Because if I was making a 5x7 card, I could probably get away with adding the strings to the apron, but my card's going to be A2, so I'm just going to shorten it. I'm also going to add some of the Christmas trees here. Okay, so I die cut out the front piece with the polka dots with my green cardstock, and then the back piece I die cut out with gold, It's actually Spellbinders Mirror Gold Cardstock, okay? And then I could just put that behind the green Christmas tree. And then there's 2 stars that we'll cut out. And I cut them out with the gold too. Okay, and then what we do here is we glue this behind the lens. There's a little arch there so it fits perfectly, and then you can have some holiday glasses for this guy to be wearing. So I'll do another one of the trees, and then our glasses are all done. And then all we do with the glasses is put the glasses on the bridge of the nose, like so. And they kind of float on there, which is really cool. Okay, so I will finish up the second tree and we'll do that. Now I do have a cupcake that I want to add to this little guy's project. And to make the cupcake, it's really easy. I die cut out the liner with my gold mirror cardstock. This goes to the bottom. All my cards today are going to have these cupcakes. Okay, and then I'll take the polka dot piece and we're going to add some red sprinkles by putting a red cardstock piece behind it. And then you just attach it to the top here. And you have like an instant cupcake that is just yummy. That's all there is to that. Okay. And then I did die cut out the holly piece. That's this one here. You get 2 leaves and then the holly berries. I didn't want to die cut it out one more time with red cardstock, so all I'm going to do is bring in a red Copic marker. It turns it into like a dark maroon, really dark, almost brown berry. I'm not worried about it because we're going to add some gems. Okay, but I am going to add some glue here. And then we can add our leaves. I'll add another dot of glue, and then we can add those berries. And we have a cute little decorated cupcake. Now I'm also going to take some of my Color Essential gems. I think this is the only time I use them. For the most part is for Christmas. And so I have a couple of packs that I saved just for Christmas projects. And then I'm going to add the second from the small. And I'm going to replace the berries that we colored in with some red gems. And I'm going to do that to all the cupcakes that I add the berries to. Look how cute. And that's a sweet little cupcake. So adorable. And I don't think he's going to be holding a cupcake. I think he's going to be holding a whisk. Now, I attached his spectacles, and they look so cute. And then using my Fluff Frost and Roll set, I added a whisk with the pink handle. Okay, and then I added some batter with the magic mixer in the bowl here. This little piece here will work for the beaters on the mixer, but you can actually put it on any of the utensils from the Fluff Frost and Roll. Okay, so you could actually add it to any of those. Okay, and then I put the cupcake down here, and then using our stamp set, I stamped the greeting that says, "I can't bear the excitement" with red ink, and I placed it down here on the bottom. Okay, there is a coordinating die set, so that's what I used to cut it out. I thought it'd be cute to put him behind a counter. So the cardstock that I used is Seaside Waterfall, and the green here is Simon Says Stamps Green Apple. Okay, I just layered 3 pieces, popped it up, and then stuck my bear behind it. So it looks like he's behind the counter. Okay, and then that is all there is to this cute little critter card. Now we're going to move on to our next die set. Okay, the Spectacular Penguin is just adorable. It's a smaller die set, so that means the price point on it's pretty fabulous. I'm going to do a little die cutting. Okay, to create the penguin, it's really easy. Now, these 2 pieces are from the Spectacular Deer, the first die set that I used, okay? And then I'm not going to use the glasses that are in here. These have a very flat top that you can add the ho 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 to, like this. but I'm gonna use the ho in a different way. I like to shake things up. Okay, and then I cut out a couple extra frames that we can stack together. And then I did make another pair of glasses. So cute. And then I made a couple extra cupcakes. You saw how I made those. And then I created a spoon with my fluff frost and roll. Okay, I just put pink handle, and then this piece goes behind here to create some little pink hearts. Okay, let's build our penguin. First, we're gonna add, and I thought these are the inside pieces to the glasses. Okay, I thought what we would do is create a polka dot background, not on this card, but our next card. So I'm going to put these to the side. We'll put those to good use. Circles are always nice to add to backgrounds. Okay, we're going to add some glue here. And then we can add the tummy. Okay, and then the face. We're just going to put some glue behind here. Now this little guy has cheeks too, but I'm not going to use them. And we will add a little blush to this guy's cheeks. And then I'm also bringing in an orange marker because I die cut out his beak with a white cardstock. So we'll just color that in. Add a dot of glue here. And then we can add our beak. He is so cute. These would make really cute tags too. And we can go ahead and add this guy, head tilted and all. We'll tilt his head. And that's all there is to this guy. You see how the bodies are interchangeable? So cute. Let's go ahead and create the glasses. I may have went overboard with the... I die cut out 4 extra because I really wanted these to be popped up on his face. If you don't want a lot of dimension with the glasses, I suggest maybe popping the facial feature up with foam tape. That way you have a little extra dimension to him. Okay, we can add this top layer. I just think that's so cute. I don't know what it is. Okay, and then I'm going to add more glue. So my glasses are five layers thick, which is a little extreme, but I like the dimension. It's about the same thickness as a foam square. Okay, and then we can add these here, just above his beak. And then you see the dimension that adds. So cute. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam squares behind the cupcakes here. And we're going to tuck the cupcakes. And that is our spectacular penguin. So cute. I love the lashes on him too. So cute. Okay, and again, you could use the cheeks that are in the die set. Let me put this away, and then I'm going to bring in some more cardstock in my card base. Now I have some pink. This is Spellbinders pink sand. I'm going to add this to the bottom here. Okay, and I'm using printer paper. And then I'm going to add, next, I'm going to add my waterfall. We're just going to layer them together here. This is a 1 1/4 inch strip of my Spellbinders Seaside. And then we have, I'm going to use glue here. And then lastly, I'm going to use my Simon Says Stamp Green Apple. I think you could replace Green Apple with Peridot, but Peridot is a little bit more on the brighter side, and I want it a little bit toned down. Okay, so we have these. I'm taking the largest stitch die. Okay, I already cut out a white panel with it. Okay, and then I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, so I have stitch detail around the edge here. I'll do this and I'll be right back. There's the stitch detail, and then I'm going to attach this with my tape runner to my white panel. Just so I have stitching all along the outside edge. I just think that gives it a clean look. And then this is going to go directly on the front of my card base. Before I add that to my card base, I'm putting it on that release paper. It comes in really handy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take my ho ho ho. I'm gonna add a thin strip here of glue, and I thought we would make a little border with the ho 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 here. But I think that's just gonna add a special detail. Okay, we'll give that a second to dry, and in the meantime, we can stamp our greeting. I'm gonna stamp the greeting down here on this waterfall cardstock. Let me bring in my black ink. Okay, let's go ahead and flip over our penguin. We will add some glue behind this cute little guy, and he's gonna go right above that greeting there. And that is my spectacular penguin card. Okay, we're gonna move along to our next card project with our spectacular deer. Let's take this guy. I cut out the main pieces of my deer with Spellbinders truffle cardstock, and then the lighter pieces I cut out with my Nina Desert Storm cardstock. It's a craft. And I think fawn would go great with this too. Okay, so we added the base. Again, the base is from our first die set. Now, for this little deer, we can add our nose, making sure it's not upside down. Okay, and then I will rosy up his cheeks. He has cheek dice too, so if you want to cut them out, you can. Before we add the front of his face to this piece, I'm going to flip this over, and I die cut out the back of his ears with my Spellbinder chiffon cardstock. These layer perfectly behind here. There we go. Then we can add his antlers too. Again, this guy is so easy. These are so easy to put together. And then we'll add his little head tilted. Okay. And then as far as his facial features go, I am going to add my black foam squares behind here. We're going to add 3 of them. And then we can actually pop this piece up on his face for a little extra dimension. Now I am going to flip this guy over, and we're going to put some foam tape behind here. Okay, and like we did with our last card, I used some colored cardstock, and then I die cut it out with that same stitch detail all along the edges. This is Simon Says Stamps Dark Chocolate cardstock, so it's a little bit darker than Timber. And then I have my Nina Desert Storm, and then this is Simon Says Stamps Green Apple cardstock. I just layered them together. I actually really like this color combination. We're going to go ahead and layer this guy here in the center. Then using my Fluff Frost and Roll from my Make It and Bake It collection, I die cut out a piping bag. And I thought he could be frosting some cupcakes here. So I'm just going to have him holding this, like so. And then we have a couple of cupcakes. Now, one of them I did with the holly. Okay, but this one, I die cut out a tree. And I thought we could add a tree topper, since it has that curve, like so. And then I did stamp and heat emboss the greeting in our stamp set that says, "Dear friend, Merry Christmas." And I thought we would just put it directly across those cupcakes. So I only put foam tape in the middle here. Oh, you know what we were going to do? We were going to add some polka dots to the background of this card using those leftover pieces. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue and add some polka dots in the background here. Some of them, since I'm doing this as an afterthought, some of them I'm going to pre-cut. And you know what? Those circles were like the perfect amount. There we go. Boy, I made a couple of mistakes today, but I showed you an easy way to fix them. But I do like the polka dots in the background. I love the texture. If you don't want to fuss with the polka dots, I would suggest maybe a polka dot embossing folder. But that will finish off that card. So let's take a look at all 3 cards that we made today. It's a little bit of a longer video, but I think the outcome were just adorable. 3 fun cards, mixing and matching the Spectacular Christmas along with the Make It Bake It collection. Some fun Christmas cards for Christmas in July. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.